The map of Pokemon Generation 10 is gonna be huge. We do have some leaks about the map, which I'll cover later on in this video. But with that being said, we have a ton of leaks to cover just about Generation 10 as a whole. It's awesome, guys. I'm so hyped for Generation 10. I'm ready, bro. I know Legends 8 literally just came out. The DLC isn't even out yet. I'm already ready for Generation 10, bro. We need to see what Generation 10 looks like. And I'm saying that because it seems like the game is gonna look completely different from any other Pokemon game. So with that being said, let me know your favorite starter Pokemon in the comments down below, and let's hop right into the leaks. So this was sent to me by a viewer in my Discord server. Yo, I gotta get that self-promo in. Check out the Discord in the description down below. The story begins in Kuala Lumpur, the bustling city capital of the Pokemon region. Unlike many classic adventures that start in small villages, this one opens in a modern city. So we do know that the game is going to start off in a big city rather than like us starting off like a small town or just like a house or whatever. The game will start off in a huge city, but then eventually we're going to get to go into like the wilderness. So it's not going to be a ZA situation where it's just in the city. I like Legends ZA, by the way. I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying that because this game will be in the wilderness and stuff. So, the protagonist is at home watching a news report about a series of increasingly frequent and devastating natural disasters. Earthquakes, storms, and tidal waves. The media blames an evil Pokemon for these events. The protagonist remains skeptical but uneasy. Obviously, the earthquake, storms, tidal waves. The game is literally going to be called Wind and Wave. So, it's going to have a lot to do with like weather stuff. We know that the leaks are saying there's going to be like a weather mechanic for like the evolution gimmick or something like that. At least I think it's for the evolution gimmick. It would be so cool to see like how these weird bits of leaks that we have will like add up and make sense when we get like anything about the game revealed, like a trailer, you know, a couple of trailers, whatever. An evil Pokemon though, that's interesting. I can't wait to see what that type of Pokemon is going to be. So I guess it could maybe be a legendary. If I had to guess, it'd be like an evil legendary Pokemon maybe. Meanwhile, the family is preparing for an overseas vacation to a luxury island resort within the same region. They've won this trip through a lottery. The mother, the protagonist, and a baby sibling look forward to rest and maybe encountering some rare Pokemon. Oh, that reminds me of the SS Anne. But anyways, on their way to the port, traffic is halted and chaos in the streets. 3 mischievous Pokemon, the new starters, have escaped and are causing trouble. And that's exactly some of these other leaks are saying about the starter Pokemon. We're going to be introduced to them like in this big city, like in traffic. So that one is aligning up with what we've known so far. A mysterious man asks the protagonist to help capture them. After a short tutorial style mission, better not be no boring tutorial, bro. I swear some of the modern day Pokemon tutorials are so boring. I swear Legends Arceus was my least favorite tutorial of all time. Great game though, just bad tutorial in my opinion. Among the starter personalities, the Pokemon are caught. The man then reveals himself as the professor of the region and the tour guide for the trip. As the ship departs, scenes show the starters, the open ocean and distant lands. The game's title appears, Wind and Wave. For now, the starters are companions on loan for the journey. So maybe we have all 3 starters first little bit of the game, and then maybe we pick one after, kind of like get to, you know, use them and see which one we prefer the most. My camera storage was full, so I turned it off, fixed it, deleted some old videos, and I was just talking into the camera for a couple of minutes and I wasn't even like recording. So anyways, now as I was just saying, starter situation sounds pretty cool. I'm actually liking that a lot. Anyways, next up, it says the resort island is inspired by Papua New Guinea, though the in-game map mirrors Southeast Asia to allow left to right progression. So I guess we're starting from the left side of the map to the right. Am I right about that? I don't know. Something I want to talk about for the map of the game. So here's a leaked picture from Central Leaks. There's a, you know, central volcano, just other random islands and stuff, like missing islands, because we still need to know more about the map. We don't have everything about the map leaked just yet, but we do know some things, right? And we know that the game is going to be taking place in Southeast Asia, which I think I've been misunderstanding something, guys. Very interesting. Are you guys ready? I'm just trying to build that up for some dramatic effect. Anyway, so what I've been thinking is, where in Southeast Asia is this game going to take place? And a lot of people in the comments have been saying that as well. But now that I'm thinking about it more, I think that it's quite literally Southeast Asia. Like, the entire map is going to be based on Southeast Asia. I'm not like 100% firm on that. I don't know exactly if it will be the entirety of Southeast Asia will be this new region, or if it's still going to be like one specific kind of, you know, area in Southeast Asia. Either way, sounds cool. I'm into it. Upon arrival, online features unlock. Players can see avatars of other travelers and quest boards. The professor officially lets the protagonist choose their starter and gives them a Pokedex-like travel guide while the family relaxes. The protagonist begins exploring. Sick. I want to see online features, bro. Give us more MMO. We know that the leaks have been saying MMO is coming to the game. Yes, 100% yes. Let's give a round of applause for that, bro. Finally Game Freak giving us some online features for Pokemon, man. I mean, like, they kind of did with Z8, but I want even more, you know what I'm saying? I gotta start speeding through this, because this is gonna be a long video. At the Pokemon Center, the protagonist meets their rival, a confident, knowledgeable young person of the same age but opposite gender. After a brief introduction to healing and services, the rival invites the protagonist to explore a nearby open-world jungle leading to their hometown. Probably, hopefully, gonna be the part of the game where it looks like Xenoblade Chronicles X. That's what I would hope. That sounds really cool. I love the jungle vibes going on. I want to see it in the Pokemon game. The first battle happens here, followed by tutorials on catching and exploring, but as a storm strikes, they nearly fall from a cliff, tightening the bond between them. Yo, we got some connections going on here. Maybe the legendary Pokemon. We get a little glimpse of that. Who knows? Chapter 5. The rival takes the protagonist to a secret base hidden high in the jungle with a stunning view of the island at sunset. Here the rival reveals their bond with a mysterious seed Pokemon, rare creature said to have many possible evolutions but none ever witnessed. It foreshadows the legendary grandfather and grandmother Pokemon of games lore. That's part of the leaks too, like the grandfather and grandmother Pokemon, which I think are going to be the box legendaries, I'm pretty sure. And the seed Pokemon is going to be a Pokemon that changes with everyone's game. Like, everyone's game will have a different seed Pokemon based on like an AI kind of thing, which I don't know. I don't really necessarily want AI in the game, but who knows? If it's just this, it's not really a big deal. Maybe it's going to be really cool. I don't know, we're just gonna have to see. We're gonna have to wait. Let me know what you guys think about that. Their moment is interrupted by voices. Strangers. Team Anthropos members are plotting to clear the forest to build another resort. Enraged, the rival swears to grow stronger and protect nature. The rival calms down, and after another friendly battle, the professor introduces them to the Victory Adventure, a challenge spanning the entire archipelago. Archipelago is just like a series of a bunch of islands, if you don't know what that word means, with over 100 objectives and 18 special missions. Completing them will grant the title of champion and free lifetime access to all resort facilities. The professor installs a map app to the Rotom phones. The rival, eager to act, leaves first using a water-type Pokemon to sail between islands. Soon after, the protagonist learns surf and open-world journey truly begins, either returning to Kuala Lumpur or exploring the archipelago freely. Yeah, so we're gonna be able to surf again on a Pokemon. And from some of the leaks that I remember seeing a couple of weeks ago or months ago, whatever, we will apparently be able to ride almost any Pokemon, at least like the big Pokemon. And then the smaller Pokemon, we are still gonna be able to interact with them somehow. But yeah, the bigger Pokemon, like you think of a Lapras, we're gonna be able to like apparently surf to go from island to island. There's also gonna be that underwater exploration. Yes, sir, bro. Underwater exploration. I'm so freaking excited for that. That's so cool. Chapter 7, the legendary island. One mysterious island hidden by storm clouds can only be entered once the seed Pokemon evolves under specific conditions. Nature of the island and the Pokemon found there depends on how the evolution happens. At its center, the legendary Pokemon from the game's cover. The battle is optional. If the legendary isn't caught, the game can still be completed, but leads to a bad ending. Weird. So we're having options here. I remember seeing this in the leaks too. So this is so interesting to me because it's like a lot of this is quite literally exactly what the Terra leak was telling us. And the facts from the Terra leak is literally this type of stuff. So, which I'm very interested to see if this is all going to become completely accurate or not. I am extremely excited to see. As the Victory adventure progresses, the protagonist and rival learn the truth about Team Blank, a mercenary organization that views Pokemon as dangerous creatures to be controlled like rabid animals. They cause incidents that blame Pokemon to justify their actions. The second son of the resort owner, initially a member, believes his brother's blank justifies their mission. If the player completes certain missions to rescue Pokemon, the second son can be convinced to change sides. If not, he remains an enemy. Another path leading to a bad ending. Interesting. So this game could potentially have multiple endings. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of that because sometimes it's like when I'm playing a game that has multiple endings, I'm like, yo, am I getting like the ending that I want to see? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I getting the full experience of the game? But I don't know what they mean by bad ending, you know? We're gonna have to see more about that. It's kind of cool that they're like actually thinking of better ways to like make Pokemon games a little bit more unique and diverse as far as like the storyline goes with the seed Pokemon. I kind of like it, but I don't know how I feel about it entirely. This is totally just one of those things where you have to kind of like play it firsthand to like really understand it. You know what I'm saying? Team Blank, which we don't know the team just yet, the team name. Headquarters are in the Patronus Towers, right next to the protagonist's home in Kuala Lumpur. Depending on the player's progress, without champion status, access is blocked. Elite guards attack as champion, but without a second son, access is delayed. As champion with his support, direct access to the final battle on top of the towers. So it seems like we still will have to like eventually complete those stuff that we don't have to in the beginning of the game, if that makes sense. in order to like finish the game, I guess. Still interesting though. I'm liking the like diversity of the storyline. The resort owner in the climax, the resort owner explains his motives, fearing the world's destruction by natural disasters and a legendary storm Pokemon. He created a weapon to control nature. He hoped to pass a safe world to his remaining son. If the legendary Pokemon was not caught, the weapon can't be fully neutralized, leading to a harder final fight or a bad ending. So there's so many different things that could lead to a bad ending, bro. What if I like accidentally mess up? Like, what if I forget to do something? Am I gonna get the wrong ending? I want to see the happy ending, man. I want to see the good, the positive ending to the game. If the legendary Pokemon was caught, it helps stop the weapon in the final battle alongside the seed Pokemon, concludes the story. So the seed Pokemon is not the legendary, by the way. The legendary Pokemon will be different Pokemon. Like the box legendaries, like you know how we have on every Pokemon game, those are gonna be different Pokemon. The seed Pokemon is gonna be kind of like a unique situation here. Like I don't think we've ever had a Pokemon like the seed Pokemon. It's gonna be its own unique type of thing, which kind of interesting, you know? The villain is defeated, the sky is clear, and peace returns. Post-game, as the vacation ends, the rival invites the protagonist to secret base for one final battle without directly saying it. Hint, they'd like the protagonist to stay. After the rival loses, they promise to meet again someday. Returning home, the protagonist receives a package, lifetime pass to all resorts, signed by the now reformed second son. The adventure may be over, but the journey continues without end. Plus DLC, because you already know Game Freak is going to give us a $30 to $40 DLC for the game. I'm not even gonna lie, I think it all sounds really cool. I think it all sounds super interesting, and I like the idea. First of all, I like the water maps. I like the islands and stuff. A lot of people hate them. IGN despises them. I'm excited to surf, you know, explore underwater. Bro, it's going to be such a fun game to play, I think. And the graphics engine is going to be totally different. Like, it's going to be a completely different Pokemon game, which is so good. That's so fun, and I cannot wait to actually see it in game and in my own hands on the Switch too, because unfortunately, but kind of fortunately, it's a Switch 2 exclusive, meaning the people on the Switch 1 unfortunately won't be able to play this game. But by the time the game does come out, a lot of people totally have a Switch 2 by then. So if you're rolling watching this far in the video, comment down below Island. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications so you don't miss all the upcoming leaks for Pokemon and news and updates, because it's going to be wild, guys. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.